Hello there, I'm Tabletop Toby. We're continuing our series today going through the different difficulty levels of Race to the Raft. We're at difficulty level 3 out of 5 paws today. We're doing a scenario from campaign 3. There's different campaigns you can go through in the campaign book, and this one is called Running in Circles. Things are definitely getting a little bit more complicated. We have additional objectives. We have to get the blue cat to the raft first, and there's nice little markers that you can put to remind yourself of that. And the green cat has to get there last. The other two cats can go at any time, but if you notice from the board, they're kind of crisscrossing. So yellow has to go over here, blue's going down here, red's going down there. So they're all kind of crossing paths at some point. So that's something we have to manage. And there's not a lot of room for fire, just a couple of little places at the beginning. So we got to get them moving and get them out of the way as well to have some space for fire. So let's get them moving then. All right, diving into our paw level 3 difficulty of 5. So today we are going to be doing running in circles. So there's the setup there, which we've already done. We have 4 different colored cats. We have the bee raft here. So we need to get the cats to the raft on their allocated space. They can only move on the colored spaces. I'm not going to go into all the rules, but I'll kind of address them as we go along and less as we move through the playthrough. So, but just for anyone that hasn't watched the official rules, then we'll do that. Now, with this scenario, there's actually additional objectives. So blue, it tells us, has to arrive first, and they have these nice little markers to help remind you what those are. And green has to arrive fourth. Now, in a solo game, the first thing you do is draw your hand of 3 cards. These cards tell you just by the colors on the backs of the 4 different types what the probabilities of getting each color are. And we first need to figure out our strategy. So blue has to get her first. Red has to go down there. Now we need to make room for fire tiles that we have to place every time we place the pathway cards, which is how you lead the cats home. Right now we have this corner, we maybe have here, we maybe have here, and that's about it. So a little bit of constraint there. Now what's interesting is if we could get yellow and blue out of the way, we could at least have this space over here. So I think we're going to focus on that as an initial strategy. So blue. Now what's interesting though is there's not a blue with yellow both as the highest probabilities. So we kind of have to hedge our bets. Now if we can get red out of the way, then that would make room up here for fire tiles as well, because green can kind of come down. So we could focus on red. So red has a high probability of blue, so we get those both out of the way. And that does have a decent chance of yellow. So I think we'll maybe do those as our starting hand. We can't look at the cards we drew until we draw that extra hand. So we have more options, but we have to make them blind still, just based on the probabilities. So these are not guaranteed that you'll get them, and the rule in my mind is if you really want that color to show up, it's probably not going to. That's definitely what happened to me in the last playthrough if you watched that. So, I think we can kind of just, double down on this card set because it does have a decent chance of all of the ones that we need. And now we get to reveal these and we'll just see what happens. It's very tactical in terms of you're dealing with whatever you get. So we have strong red, strong blue, decent blue. Let's see how far we could potentially get our blue. We can get blue pretty far. Something like that. Doesn't quite get us all the way home. Now we're kind of lucky because the blue is there. Can kind of build backwards a little bit. Now that's interesting because it kind of helps with red a little bit. Not overly though. So I could do actually something like that. Kind of planning ahead, maybe hoping that we get a slightly better card for that, but that actually put some red there to start building that out. So I think we'll do that. So anytime you place a pathway card, you do have to draw a fire tile. So this board is very constraining to begin with. I think this is our best option. That's pretty big. So we get a reveal next card. So we have a lot of red. So if we did get red moving, we would have this area to play with the fire. Don't have a blue immediate solution. It would take us 2 cards to do at this point. Now we could also do green, but we don't know if we're going to get another good draw. I could hang on to this green just in case in the blue, depending on what else we draw. And we could go ahead and just get red moving a little bit, or at least the path to red. So we do draw another fire tile. Let's block his path right away. Smart idea, let's do that. So, it's getting real tight really quickly. Man. Whew. We gotta move something fast. So, yellow now thankfully is going over here. So we could do something like that. It does waste that space, but it does leave room for us to get blue. Blue, we already kind of have the path. We just need to connect those. So I think that's what we're going to do. Draw this one, and we're still in the red. So we should go ahead and get red moving along. So if we did that, I could also see, so if we did that and then that, we could actually get blue home, and it does add some red there as well, or blue there as well. So let's do that. And then hopefully the fire tiles are nice to us. Oh man, maybe not. I don't know how I'm feeling about my decisions in life right now. So we could do that because we can place a green here to get underneath it. I feel like that decision is okay for now. Well, actually it's a fire tile. It'll be forever unless I use one of these blue water tokens, which you can use to remove those, but it lowers your score by 1 for each. When you win a scenario, it's worth 5. The question is, do I do this and risk whatever fire tile I draw? Because now I've really constrained myself over here. Or do I discard one of these to get red out of the way? Man, tough decisions. This is a really good one for red, but I don't know that we need it because we just need 1 square to connect it to this path. Although we're about to cover that. So this one's nice looking ahead because it connects that. And this green one, get green moving pretty well. So I'm going to discard this one even though it's a pretty awesome tile, just because of our other options there. So we'll do that. And we do not have to place a fire tile. We do have to then do our blue. So we'll do that one because it builds towards our red. And then we do have to place a fire tile. So that could do something like that, although it blocks that in, so then you're kind of trapped working within there. But we are very tight until we get blue home. At least then we'll have some options there. We could do... Man, I don't love that. I guess, well, that's going to create an inefficiency there. That creates a square there. I don't know if I don't believe there's just one that's a 4 square. So I'll do that. I don't love it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And then the question is whether we go ahead and move blue home, or whether we go ahead and, while we have a green tile, get green going as well. I'm going to go ahead and start the path for green. Draw a fire tile. And we can do that. Man, that's a waste of 3 there though. Or this only does 1 inefficiency there. I think we'll do that. And hopefully we get things that fit in there better. So we did move the red one. We should have exhausted the red one by putting it on its side when it moves, which means you can still move in that round when they're exhausted, but it takes 2 discards. And then we're in the rest phase because we've played all of our cards, we've played our extra hands, so the cat would stand back up and then we draw up again. So we can revisit our strategy. And so right now, we already have the path for blue. We need yellow and red and green. Yellow and green. The chance of red. Be nice if we can get red out of the way since we do have that path, because the thing is, if we get yellow, we're going to have to cross. I think this is why it's called running in circles, this particular scenario, because they're all kind of crossing over each other and you gotta figure that out. So I think it's important for us to focus on red to begin with. This does have a decent chance of yellow and green. If we can get red out of the way and take advantage of that existing path. So let's go ahead and do, hopefully, these 3 will get us there. If not, maybe we can at least get it out of the way, the yellow. And then that would leave yellow and green. So we'll do our extra hand of these yellow and green ones. And once we've drawn those, we can reveal our hand. So we definitely have some good red options. So let's look and see what those look like. So do just like, oh no, that does not work. So this connects to the existing path, so that works. And then I think we just need to do this. So I wonder though, this one isn't as useful because we already have from the other two the path for red. So let's go ahead and discard this and move our blue cat all the way there. It was an additional objective to get blue there first, which we have accomplished. So we're good there. We don't have 4 cards in the disaster discard, so we do not have to do an extra fire tile. And then we can start building our red path. So do that, draw a fire tile. Still are a little trapped in our options. This does do an inefficiency there, but it does get out of the way. We can also do this, but then we're still doing the 3 wasted. So I say let's do this. There's only the 1 extra right now. I think that's pretty good. We did forget to draw our card up from the last turn when we moved our blue friend. And then we have another one that from where we just placed. So we're back up to our hand of 3. And then we have some good ones for yellow. This one gets our red friend home. So we'll place that. Draw a fire tile. So I think like that's pretty good, right? Doesn't quite fit in there. So I think we're just gonna go with that. Nice when it works out pretty well. Do this one. Okay, so yellow is looking pretty good, but we got to get red out of the way first. So let's look and see what our best yellow options are. So this one gets them over. These T ones I find to be particularly helpful because you end up with one side where no matter where it is, you can connect across. So that's an option. So I feel like this one is not as helpful. Could be at the end, but we're not there yet. So we're going to use that one to discard and get our red friend all the way home. Red can go there anytime. We just need to get green there last. So then let's get our yellow friend going. So do that. Draw fire tile. So could do something like that. I like that actually. And then we'll place this last one. So I think, so you have to think like, because of the layering, you're going to be layering over whatever this is. So it's actually more helpful instead of going as far as you can to go back, because now this will connect with yellow no matter where it is on this side. So have to keep that in mind with the layering strategy. So we're in rest phase again because we've played all of our hand and the extra hand. So if we had moved any cats that weren't on the raft, then they would become unexhausted, but that's not the case. So we pretty much go right to drawing. So we need just green and yellow. So we're going to go all in on the highest probability cards for all of those, both for our main hand and our extra hand. Look at this. So good one for green, good one for green, good one for yellow. So if we can get yellow home and out of the way, which we can, so we'll do that one. Just got to place one more before. Oh man. So gotta get green. We did that. It does restrict us a little bit. Now I could do something like that, actually. Keeps it out of the way a little bit. Keeps our options open for placement there. So we'll do that. Draw this one. It's another yellow. So this is the obvious choice to discard to finally bring our yellow friend home. We do have 4 cards in the disaster discard though, so those go away. And we do have to place an extra fire tile. Thankfully, we have more options over here now. But this fits perfectly there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really glad about that one. And then let's draw the next card. So we have some really good options for green now. So let us get that going. So, could do this. Now here, there's already green there. So let's see if we can take advantage of that. So if we did something like that, then we may be able to get green with one more placement. I really like that. Draw another fire tile. So that fits nicely there. Draw our last card for this round. And I think we are golden because we're going to be able to get our green friend home. It's looking a little sketch there for a while, but it kind of came together, our plan, such as it was. So this one we can actually do down here now because we don't care. And all we need to do is discard that one. And green is all the way home, arriving 4th per the bonus objective. So we have saved the cats again, thankfully. We did not have to use any of the water tokens, so we would get the top score of 5 for this scenario. And just to kind of review, this is from campaign 3, and so you work your way through these different scenarios to complete that campaign, and each of those is worth 5 if you do that, and then you move on to campaign 4. So we're kind of jumping around just to get a little bit of variety, but thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and if you didn't, then do it as well, because otherwise these cats might not have made it, and that would be really sad. So thank you for being here, and just remember, the only rule is that there are no rules except in board games.